jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
Yo, big shout out to the hottest chatter in the MF and game. A-side official. No negotiations needed, period. You already know WCS is the first in the building. We back with another one. Salute to Jay in the building on deck. I see you. And for everybody else that's on their way, hit the like button on your way in. And on top of that, if you select to support the channel, there's my Cash App right there, or you can donate where you see the $sign. This is a monetized channel. You can select to donate via YouTube. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. I first want to make a left turn right quick and take you to a little bit of content that was dropped. Shout out to Arnold. Appreciate your mind. I just want to, make a little drive by because Jerron Ennis is set to step into the ring real soon against the one and only, the killer, the man with a plan, the beast without an enemy, the top of the chain of command, makes all the decisions, the ruler of the Serengeti, Koran Chudikin. He's stepping in there with an absolute killer in a rematch, y'all. Not too long ago, January 2023, Koran Chudikin went 12 rounds with Jerron Ennis in a lackluster, subpar, mediocre, bland, insipid type of contest. The IBF interim world title was on the line. Since then, he went on to knock out Ramon Villa, who had his energy coming off a Rashidi Ellis win. Then he was stepping there with a common opponent, July 2024, this year, that once upon a time, they didn't know who the man was. They called him every name besides his government name. Abyssinian, avocado, you know what I'm saying? Anesthesia. Nobody believes you. I mean, they routed this man's name like he was a straight up bum, yo. And look what happened. Abyssinian had to end up coming over there to Philly. And we all seen what happened. Ennis won the fight, but it wasn't the way people believed it was going to turn out. A lot of people believed that Ennis was going to go in there and cancel, terminate, destroy, disbowel, eviscerate David Abyssinian in that ring. And it didn't happen. But he got the win. He got a 5th round, RTD. Somehow Abyssinian was telling people that he wanted to continue, and Eddie Hearn's A1 doctor, end up acting like they didn't hear no English being spoken, and they stopped the fight. So now, November 9th, 2024, we have the one and only, the infamous, the world-renowned superstar headed back into the ring. Koran Chudikin has been selected again, the IBF route, as the mandatory. You know how the IBF is with their mandatories. Hey, they want that mandatory, they get their mandatory. So in the midst of a Brian Norman Jr. Jerron Ennis negotiation going down, which everybody was tuned in, leaned in, antennas up, people wanted to see that fight right there. They were saying, damn, this make a good fight. Unification 2 at 147-pound welterweight division. We about to get it started for the welterweight journey to see who's the king. And it fell apart, y'all. When I tell you that shit fell apart, it fell the hell apart. It fell apart. Let's go to YSM Sport. Shout out to YSM Sport Media. He definitely the embedded media over there in Philly. You know what I'm saying? Does a great job. My criticism of Jerron Ennis is not in no way, shape, or form have anything to do with YSM Sports Media. It's just public record. So this is his content. Jerron Ennis honored by the city of Philadelphia ahead of his November 9th bout against Karen Chudhakin. All right. Now, before I make a comment on this, I just want the audio to play just a little bit. Okay. Mike in the building. I see you. What's good? Let's get to it.
Outstanding achievement in professional boxing and working in the community. The world joining Councilman Colbert.
Now the audio is not that good. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, I'm not up here to critique anything dealing with the audio or whatever. I'm up here to just do a reaction to the moment itself. First of all, congratulations to Jerron Ennis and his team for getting honored by the city. That is a prestigious honor. I don't know exactly why he's being honored, but let's just keep on going. Once again, this is YSM Sports Media. YSM Sports Media. There go Bozy Ennis up there. Just pops. Where's Greg Hackett? He didn't take no shot at no Bud Crawford, did he? Let me rewind this a little bit. Now you should just stick to the regular scheduled program. That's how you know people don't know boxing. Because there's been enough clout chasing. And you shouldn't even mention Bud's name to basically take away from Jerron Ennis's freaking honor. His day to be honored by the city. You should have left Bud out of it because now you allowing Bud to have a presence remotely. He's not even nowhere in the city. And you allow him to be a part of Jerron Ennis' special moment. And I'm being real about it. That's Ennis' special moment right there. You shouldn't be talking about Bud Crawford. I mean, if you was that much into making the fight, you should have much more of an attendance to make some phone calls and try to get it done. But it's okay. People find it lighthearted. You know what I'm saying? They find it a jolly old good time to just have, you know, this little humor. This humor to keep clout chasing other fighters when they're not around. You know what I'm saying? I guess he had to get some laughs. It seems like they was clapping for Bud Crawford more than they was Ennis. Real talk, you never should mention another fighter if that fighter is the one that's out of your city, born and raised. It should be strictly Jerron Ennis's day, not mentioning other fighters' name and have people in the audience responding to it. No, you don't. You don't want all the smoke, man. Come on. Stop it. Who is that? Who is that clapping like that? Come on, man. Greg Hackett should be up there too, goddammit. Where you at, Greg? Shit, Greg be putting in that work. What Greg Hackett at? He should be on stage too, goddammit. Where you at? Salute to Greg Hackett, good guy. He should be on that stage too. That's real. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a bit confused right here. I don't know what's going on. It seems like a lack of organization. This is a special moment, obviously for Ennis, and I'm not being critical for fun. Real talk. This is your special moment. It seems like it's a last minute freestyle. Like what's going on? This should have already been organized. You know, you got the belt. What else is there?
City. We are a praying city and we are boxing city. We're going to pray over this. This fight we have on November 9th, right? We're all party. This is going to be exciting. We have a champion here in our midst, and we are so excited about it and taking this time and opportunity out to say congratulations in advance. Congratulations on your last fight, but congratulations on your upcoming fight. The victory is at hand. And so we want to recognize Germantown, 8th District. Germantown's own Rick Yard is in the house. Rick Yard is in the house. So we want to recognize our champion and let them know that we've got his back as he prepares to get ready for this really big fight here in the city of Philadelphia. And so we have a resolution recognizing and honoring Jerron Boots Ennis, the reigning International Boxing Federation World Welterweight Champion, for his outstanding achievements in professional boxing and his work in the community. Whereas Jerron Boots Ennis was born on June 26, 1997 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and raised in the Germantown section of the city of Philadelphia,
and whereas Jerron has trained in the sport of boxing since he was a young child under the tutelage of his father, professional boxer Derek O.Z. Ennis, who helped hone his son's talent to become a successful fighter in the world of professional boxing. Jerron's success has included winning silver and gold medals at the U.S. National Open Gloves Championships in 2014 and 2015, respectively. And
Whereas Jerron made his professional debut on April 30th, 2016, with a first-round knockout victory over Flory Malter, followed by
What is going on? Why is everybody all disorientated, bro? What's going on? For those of you boxers that's listening in to my reaction to this, it's just when you have moments like this, this is your moment. This is one video. This is one video. Everything that's going on with this should have been taken care of. The boxers should be focusing on the crowd and what's being said about them. It seems like, you know, they looking for, you know, the car keys, driver's license. I don't know what's going on. Just, you know, everybody else is paying attention though. Everybody else is just, you know, focusing on those out there, those who was in attendance. You know what I'm saying? It's just too much moving around, looking left to right, trying to find something. What else could there be? Are you looking for the speech that you were supposedly written or whatever? Because that's the main part I want to hear. I want to hear, did he write something down? Do he have people around him that wrote something down for him so he won't say the same thing? Because this is a special moment. Real talk. Not everybody get this moment. Not every boxer get this moment. This is a special moment. Once again, shout out to YSM for basically highlighting this moment and putting it on wax. But guess what? His moment to put it on wax is only what's in front of him.
Plenty of victories, including wins over Chris Alexander and Marcus Petro in 2016 and multiple stoppage wins in 2017 and throughout subsequent years. And
whereas Iran continued his success with notable victories over such opponents as Sergey Ennis, Thomas Maloney in 2021, Castro Clinton in 2022, he later claimed the IBF interim world welterweight title in a boxing match against Karen Chukatsian in January 2023, followed by a successful.
What was that? Chukaktakin? Chukaktis?
Against Romain Miller in July 2023, and
whereas on November 9th, 2023, Jason was awarded the IBF World Welterweight title following the Federation's removal of the previous champion, and he subsequently successfully defended the IBF belt against David Robinson on July 13, 2024, winning by a technical knockout in the first round. And
now, these members who are speaking, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm gonna be honest, you all. One person could have read this whole thing, and I understand they want everybody to be, on camera, be a part of this, but we totally understand you are reflecting. You know what I'm saying? We totally understand you're reflecting and honoring Jaron Ennis, and everyone wants to be a part of it. I get it. But one person could have just read this all the way through without no pause or, disconnect in what you're trying to say, because everybody's rise of inflection in their voice is different. Believe me, take it from somebody who used to freaking have to brief officers all the time. You have to speak. Everybody's rise of inflection is different. And also, all of these members right here, they don't speak to people on a regular basis when it comes to settings like this.
Whereas Sharon with his father are significant role models to young people in their community by providing mentoring and training to their boxing program.
She should have read the whole thing.
Whereas Sharon holds the distinction of being the only
you can tell she did this before.
champion hailing from the city of Philadelphia. Now therefore begin. Resolved that the Council of the City of Philadelphia recognizes and honors Jaron Ennis, the reigning International Boxing Federation, IBF, World Welterweight Champion, for his outstanding achievements in professional boxing and his work in the community. To further resolve that an first copy of this resolution be presented to Jaron Ennis as evidence of sincere respect and admiration of this legislative body. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Now, before Ennis takes the mic, this is important for people to understand, because I would suggest this to every boxer, especially if you are a star. It don't matter if you haven't made the superstar, but work on your English, work on your articulation, work on your dialogue, work on your PR, addressing those in front of you. It's extremely important, especially for my Black people. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to have moments like this and you say the same thing every single time in a moment like this, a moment when you're about to fight, just kicking it with the friends. No, it has to be separation. You have to know how to just buckle down and be able to prepare something. So hopefully he has a speech prepared.
I appreciate you guys. Thank the city.
First and foremost, Jaron Ennis, brother, no, come on. I'm speaking to you. I know you have a father that's standing there, but no, my brother, No, bro, you are old enough to be able to hold your head, stand up. You shouldn't have to be holding up no goddamn title. Everybody knows you're the IBF welterweight champion. Stand up, erect, posture, shoulders back, and talk to your people. That's the only way you're going to get them to support you heavy when you're not fighting in Philly, bro. Damn, you like mumbling every time you get in front of the PR, man. And I'm not taking shots, and I just want them to do better. That's all.
Maybe overnight after we put on a show, doing winning the dominant fashion, another knockout in
one of those crowns I have here.
Do y'all understand what he's talking about? Do y'all understand what he's talking about, brother? Mr. Ennis, all respect. Please work on this. Please work on it, man. Work on it like when you do your ring walk and you're engaging the crowd and you entertaining the crowd. Have your speaking, your delivery the same way. And this is all honesty. This is no disrespect to Ennis. But you have to do better, man, with your PR. You have to do better. This is a special moment. And for us back here, it seems like you're mumbling, man.
winning the dominant fashion, another knockout in I got more bus tickets, so
I'm just here to talk about his father, and Bruce, knowing him since he was about 4 years old, and his father being like a father to me and everybody in my neighborhood. I mean,
do y'all see the difference? How comfortable this guy is? I don't know who he is, how comfortable he is in addressing those who he's speaking on.
We honor this man and his son. But
you see how loud his voice is? You see how he's standing in front of the mic addressing public?
Not just what they bring to the table in the boxing world, but what they also bring to my community.
Absolutely.
I mean, I tell you, like, me being young, 12 years old, me and my friends running up at the gym in the dungeon. It was called the dungeon, real hard gym. Like chasing chickens, like, gym. So we in the gym, and he'd come get us all the time, let us spar and do our thing. And then one day, when I got a little older, he seen me walking down the street, and I got to a street fight. And he pulled me out the streets and walked me back to the gym. And then started bringing up all my friends that was struggling on the streets. And then he brought my son up. And my son is a professional fighter because of this man. And Boots, it's a little story a lot of people don't know. Like when he was a child, it was like a Goku thing with me. If y'all don't know what that's about, the Goku thing, but his mother was like Arma and his father was Goku. And he had a Super Saiyan son that was like, watch the father, who was he was there with his hands. And then he had another son. Bro, he was there with his hands. Then he had another son. Farai, you seen Farai was there with his hands. And then we seen this one come up, but he was never allowed to come to the gym and box. Because his mother always made sure he had a schoolwork person. And I'm talking about for years we didn't see him. But this champion of the world now, Philadelphia zone, bringing life to my city.
I just want to offer a request card
It's always a pleasure to come here, man. City Council, thank you for having me. Philadelphia, we're here to celebrate the champion. I watched him since he was a little kid develop into a real champion. Not just a professional champion in the ring, but a people champion that represents Philadelphia. This is what it's all about. Boozy, he's been like a father figure to me ever since I was coming up. Puma Farai, they were like brothers to me. Although I'm from a different section of the city. They like my cousins, so they always protect me on the opposite side of the world. And when they come down to the west part, I protect them. So it's like reciprocity. You know what I mean? We have this joint camaraderie. And it's always good to see everybody connected and coming together. And I go to this game because
good panning of the area by YSM Sport, because it is other people that's up there on stage that cannot be seen within the frame. You know what I'm saying? Good panning of the area from right to left. You know what I'm saying? But as you listen to the, this guy speaks much different. This is important because you only get one shot. It's only one shot there, fighters. You get one shot at moments like this. This is forever. This is forever, and fighters should never take it for granted. You should get the most out of it, optimal experience. So when your kids see it and those grandkids or whatever, they look back on it and they can say, man, that was special. We heard every word. We understood every word. We understood why those people was there.
He's bringing fights back to Philadelphia and getting everybody unified and connected. It's not segregated no more. So give a round of applause.
It would have been great to hear Jerron Ennis say, give a round of applause for my team, those who have assisted me along the way, helped me out tremendously. I thank them very much, because boxing is a difficult sport. It's the hurt business for a reason.
Thank you, Steve, for having me. I wouldn't really be here if it wasn't for her, Johnson and Council President Johnson, as well as Curtis Jones Jr. We get ready to put on a citywide tournament all around the city of Philadelphia. We're going to take this off. We're going to always honor the chance to come from Philadelphia, and we want to keep this homegrown base going, continue on and on and on. Thank you very much.
May I have to have you move back just a bit, because I gotta get to
Well, I thought Bozy was going to at least speak. I thought Bozy was going to speak. Bozy, you should have spoke, Bozy. That's your son at the end of the day. Not every time that you get honored by the city. I mean, no one should take this lightly, man. Don't just run through it like it's a freestyle, like it's just something you just pulled up on. That's all. This is a big time moment to me. Shout out to Big Blunts and Boxing in the building. I see you, Blunts. What's good with it, man? The OG Mr. Golden on deck. I see you. How you living? How you feeling? Hope all is well, man. Shout out to JD for the $5 in the super chat, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for your support, and one love to you, man. I know everybody out here working hard for theirs. Appreciate you. Shout out to the Oracle himself, the man behind the scenes, the lifeline, the plug, the connect, Trick Noti in the building. What's good with it, Trick? How you feeling, man? Hope all is well over there in Texas. WCS, what's good this afternoon? Not much, man. Just talking about a little something. That was YSM Sports Media highlighting Jerron Ennis being honored by the city of Philadelphia on the eve of his fight, November 9th. I wanted to put it out there. I haven't even looked at the video like that. That was my first time really looking at the whole video. So shout out to him for doing an outstanding job with getting that coverage, first of all. But, my reaction and criticism, of course, was to my people, you have to understand that if you are above average when it comes to your notoriety in life, you have to work on your delivery and dialogue. There's nothing wrong with enhancing your vocabulary. It takes time. But to have a moment like this where you're honored and you're mumbling and you're not sounding confident, you're supposed to look like behind that podium the same way you're going to look like when you do your ring walk. You know what I'm saying? When you're being introduced, when you're going in there to defend, your belt in front of your people in Philadelphia come November. That's all I'm saying. Shout out to the man on of the hour, man. Salute to you. I gotta commend him on his work, man. He got a damn good website that he did himself, man. I was impressed. Shout out to Tough Glove Boxing in the building. Definitely go subscribe to him. Check him out, man. Follow the brother. You know what I'm saying? Very intellectual inclined brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Put his own site up there with boxing content. I'm pretty sure, you know, if you want to drop that link and put it in the chat, be sure to do so, man. Definitely support him and check out his boxing content that he has on his site that he built from the ground up, man. Outstanding work. I ain't gonna lie to you, Shawty. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Great work. Let's talk about the subject at hand, though. The man himself, Chris Colbert. Chris Colbert. Let's just talk about the fight where he began to look a little suspect in a way that the talent that was exuding from him over there where he was at, it didn't quite add up when he stepped up to face the champion at the time, Hector Luis Garcia. Hector Luis Garcia wasn't considered a killer or anything like that. But I still remember the outfit that Chris Colbert had on. It looked like a goddamn a Nubian Tetris freaking superhero or something like that. Had multiple colors and all that. I mean, somebody was able to get some limelight. And that fight right there, Hector Luis Garcia was able to expose and peel back some layers of Chris Colbert's game that wasn't the best. It didn't shine the best of Chris Colbert technical skills in there with the fighter who is equally as skilled as himself. You know what I'm saying? And Colbert ended up being dropped in the 7th round, but clearly throughout the fight, Garcia was landing some very strict combinations on Colbert. He had the momentum. And he wasn't doing anything like we never seen before. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't one of those moments where, let's just say Madrimov, the way we was looking at his film and then the way he came in there in Crawford. It wasn't something like that for Garcia. He just came in there looking absolutely different than what we expected. No, he came in there looking like a boxer, let his hands go, kept his distance well, you know, was able to land on Chris Colbert because Colbert then, I don't know, the strategy upstairs wasn't connecting. The messages wasn't crossing the synapses. The transmission of information was failing. Chris Colbert didn't look the way he was supposed to in that fight against a fighter who was supposed to be on his level, and he was supposed to be on Garcia's level. But as the fight played out, it just seems like Colbert wasn't on that high level like we initially assumed, like the talk was. He was supposed to be the next best coming up out of there, and he just didn't show it to us, bro. He looked bad in that fight with Garcia. And people was up here, you know, telling us that, hey, man, every fighter have a bad night, you know, and stuff like this. No. We're talking about Brooklyn. We're talking about Chris Colbert. We're talking about the mouth of Brooklyn. This was the mouth of Brooklyn, y'all. This man goes up there and takes his first loss via unanimous decision. Let me read you these scorecards. 119-108 by Patricia Jarman. 118-109 Dave Moretti. 118-109 Steve Weisfeld. Colbert was down in round 7. This was February 2022. He would step back in the ring March of 23 and fight Jose Valenzuela, aka El Rayo. And he will win a controversial decision. Close. Glenn Feldman had it 95-94. Lisa Giampa had it 95-94. and Don Trella had it 95-94. All for the winner, Chris Colbert, in a 10-round contest. That was March 2023. He will step back in the ring after that later on that year in the back end of 2023 in December and have a rematch with Jose Valenzuela. This particular night, we understood that everything Valenzuela felt he did in March, they went back and did film study, not to mention how edgy he must have felt knowing that he won that fight. Valenzuela even said it. I know I won that fight. I shouldn't have lost. It wasn't like Valenzuela came in there undefeated. Valenzuela already had one loss when he fought Chris Colbert the first time, right? And then to go over there and take a second loss when he's in the same position that Chris Colbert's in, he's trying to elevate himself to that championship. But he ends up on the wrong side of the scorecards. We understand how that can be. People don't understand that the judges are held to a different standard. And it's very, very light standard too. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not held to our standard. A lot of people that go to the fights, they don't even pay attention to the judges. But judges will always be a line in the determination factor of how a fight is won and how a fight is lost. The third man in the ring, the three judges off the ring apron, and the commission. Those are three sectors that everybody should always be concerned about in a high stakes fight. Valenzuela came in there March 2023 for the rematch, and he was absolutely blistered, blaze, bombard the comfort zone of Chris Colbert on that night, man. He ended up getting a 6-round stoppage in brutal fashion. He sent Chris Colbert in between the ropes. Chris Colbert thought those ropes was a freaking posturpedic pillow with a brand new complimentary mattress with silk sheets spread on top of him so he can go night-night. Chris Colbert needed an immediate triage team to help him get out those ropes. It was a brutal stoppage. Colbert looked like he was sleeping like a baby. That would be his second loss, his first by stoppage, sent to him by Valenzuela, Jose Valenzuela. That was December 2023. So coming off that KO loss, the worst KO of his career, he had to go back home and deal with that in Brooklyn. He had been out the ring almost a year to date when he just fought yesterday on Pro Box. Main event, y'all. He was stepping there with Omar Salcedo. This was a 10-round affair. Salcedo didn't dominate pretty much like Valenzuela did, but you can tell they watched film. You can tell that they had a plan to say, hey, we're going to test his chin. We're going to test his beard to see if that duct tape is nice and tight. See if that confetti will hold up. We want to see, can we knock them zip ties loose from what Valenzuela broke up when he was in there? I'm serious. They wanted to see, can they knock some paper clips off goddamn Chris Colbert's chin? Salcedo was going in there swinging, man, trying to dislocate dismantle, and allow the consciousness of freaking Chris Colbert to disappear. He just didn't have, at a higher weight, of course, he just didn't have, what I'm saying, the punching power to get Chris up out of there. Maybe Chris was in better shape than he looked in there. He made it to the 9th round, but I felt that the more domineering fighter in that showcase was Salcido. I just felt his punches over time was landing. It was effective. He was breaking down Colbert. Colbert looked sluggish, lethargic. He just looked like he could never get out of first and second gear, y'all. And I'm just looking at him. He just looks like, I mean, Chris have this, his ego is so huge that when he should have a sense of urgency, where he should just be turning up and going for broke in the ring, he still try to act like he cool. Obviously, you was losing the fight. It just seems like Chris wasn't in the type of shape he should have been in. It just seems like I can't say he didn't train for the fight, but I just want to know what he trained on. I want to know, was he there for every training session in his fight camp? To me, I was taken back a little bit on how his cardio looked. He had better cardio in there with Hector Garcia. I think he had better cardio when he was in there with Valenzuela the first fight. But this fight, he just looked to be out of sorts, as they call it. He looked to be a bit too relaxed. He looked as if he wanted to shift gears, he couldn't, because you only get so much out of a 2-cylinder. You can only get so much out of a tricycle, goddammit, going uphill. I was looking for Chris Colbert. I said, okay, the mid rounds, he's gonna turn it up. He has a game plan. He's gonna start to turn it up, this, that, and the other. It never happened. Never happened. Then in the 8th round, his corner told him, hey man, you better show me something. I'm gonna stop the fight. You're not responding. I'm gonna stop the fight. Show me something. Show me something. Chris went out there. The fight, resumed where it left off, with Salcido landing some very effective punches. He was proficient with his offensive strategy. He had a nice game plan. He never allowed Chris Colbert to even think about disrupting his rhythm. He stayed in control, him being Salcido. And his corner stopped the fight in the 9th. I still remember what Colbert said when he won the first one. I mean, when he lost the second one, I believe. I still remember what he said to Valenzuela. I still remember that shit. Ego. He said, and now we're 1-1. We'll run it back. That's what he was thinking. He just didn't look at the fact that he had just got damn near. I mean, he damn near became a mascot for Ambien. His phone was ringing before he even got back to the locker room. Hello, is Mr. Colbert back yet? Yes, this is Ambien. We've seen what happened tonight and want to know if we can get a pre-approval for him to be our mascot. He goes to sleep very well. Very, very well. We want to hurry up and get here ahead of time before NyQuil, because I know NyQuil would definitely like to have you as their mascot, but we want to give you a damn good offer and see if you'd be a mascot for Ambien. I still remember what Chris Colbert said. Now, of course, I feel a different way. I don't want to piss Tough Glove off, man. Because I know my guy is from Brooklyn, I believe, right? I think he's from Brooklyn. I don't know how much of a fan that he was of Chris Colbert. But it is neutral. I'm just responding based off experiences I had with Chris. This is experience that I had that I couldn't understand why the black man was so damn disrespectful. He came down here to a celebrity boxing tournament where we had a lot of celebs down here. And of course, your boy was doing media. Everybody else was cool as a fan, man, communicating, answering questions, all that shit, man. Very professional. But Colbert walked up there. I remember Zab Judah was there. Colbert was there. And there was this other guy. I forgot who it was. And Zab, always professional, always cool people. Shout out to Zab Judah, man. Always cool people, man. And you know where Zab is from, man. You know where Zab Judah is from. So it's not like, oh, man, this is the type of energy that they carry up there, the boxers carry up there. No. I know how Zab used to be back in the day. When he got in the ring, he did what he had to do. He turned up, right? But see, the one thing about Colbert is it just seems like this dude was intoxicated off his ego. It seems like it wasn't something that he consumed from any type of, physical object that you put up to your mouth when you had happy hour. Like some of you today came back from happy hour just now and you heading back to the crib. It's Thursday. You know who you are. You know who you are. I'm not trying to call you out. But this is an intoxication that's internal, that his body produced this shit. Seriously. Have you ever heard about certain, certain elements that your body produces? Like they say your body produces creatine. But when people hear creatine, they think about an over-the-counter supplement and stuff like that. Your body produces certain things. Your brain is powerful, man. But what Chris Colbert, his ego, his arrogance, his body produces that shit. Dude is disrespectful. So when I was there, I said, "How you doing, Chris Colbert?" I was going to the intro to get to it, and dude turned his back on me. And there was other media there too. I just happened to be the first one to talk, of course, because I wanted to get it out the way because I knew they wasn't going to be on the red carpet all the time. I actually still had the footage too. I would dump him on his head with this shit, even when he getting stopped. But that's not what I want to do. I said, "Hey, Chris, can I speak to you for a second?" He's just ignoring everybody, right? And I think Zab might have asked him something. I can't remember. Like, dang, it's the media. What's up, man? What's wrong with you? Like he was really being an asshole. Real talk. This dude walked up here like he was a 6th division world champion. He done beaten the best in the world. Been through some rough battles. You know what I'm saying? You would think this dude was suffering from early stages of dementia or pugilistica. But no, that's not the excuse I'm going to give him today, goddammit. Dude has other shit going on. How he treated us down here in the A, turning his back and being all snobbish the way he was. People remember that shit. And then that causes them not to root for you. Even when a grown-ass black man call your name respectfully after you turn your back, he was still turn around and kind of face the front. He just ignored us like we was some type of freaking foreign entity. Seriously. That's how his ego, how narcissistic freaking Chris Colbert is. The bouts is going down. He's in the corner of a reality star down here. And he's losing his fucking mind, yo. This is celebrity boxing. And this dude's there talking to this female in the corner like she's a professional fighter. And this is a celebrity boxing match. I can't make this shit up, man. He was on some different type of speed. Not the type that you have on the highway, man. It was shit that was spinning around in his little noggin. And dude is arrogant as hell. People done heard Chris Colbert talk shit to people. Call them bitches and all that shit, bums and all that. I remember when he was talking about Deontay Wilder, just talking reckless, man. Loose lip like a motherfucker. I was like, what's wrong with this motherfucker, dog? What's wrong with him? Like, why is he so mad at the world and disrespectful? How do you want people to support you? Like, how are we supposed to support you, man? And you're unapproachable. Like, really, Chris wasn't anything special when he came down here. And we know who he. Well, I knew who he was. Some of the other media wasn't really boxing media. They was in the industry, like they was music media, because you had music artists down here too. So they felt that he was somebody because, you know, I called him out and you know, one person asked me, you know, who is that guy right there? They didn't even know. I said, you know, that's an upcoming star. I did. I said, that's an upcoming star in professional boxing. He's at this weight class, this and that, from Brooklyn, blah, blah, blah. They said, oh, okay. So basically, when we was all up there together and that incident went down, they looked at me like, they were saying the same thing. I can't make this up. They say, damn, he an asshole, man. What's wrong with that dude? This is a celebrity boxing match, but he's acting the way he's acting. I get it, man. I get it. Dude is crazy, bro. Dude is something weird. He's something weird. And look, I wasn't wishing for his downfall, but I wasn't going. Look, I wasn't going for freaking Salcedo to beat Chris Colbert ass. I wasn't. I don't sit up here like and wish ill upon people, even if I don't like it. Like the cats I don't want, I don't wish them shit. I don't. Real talk. My dad, my pops was extremely abusive, man. Me, you know, like I never wished bad on him. I never wished him, you know, anything. I figure it's gonna go out the way it's supposed to go out. It's gonna happen the way it's supposed to happen. I wasn't going in there Salcedo. I wasn't really familiar with Salcedo. I wasn't going for him to knock Chris out. I get on here and talk my shit, but genuine, I don't sit up here and say, okay, you know, I hope so and so get hurt real bad and this, that, and the other. No, that's not where I go through life. That's just not the way it is. And for Chris to be who he is, he had to go through fight camp, and I don't know who was there to talk to him. I don't know if he's went and seen a therapist. I don't know if he's locked in with somebody on a regular basis. But it seems like he didn't have a sense of urgency to go out there and kill or be killed, to make a statement that, yeah, I'm back off that knockout loss from Jose Valenzuela. I'm back. I mean, it happens. For real, it happens. I ain't gonna lie. It can happen. Sometimes a fighter go back to the lab. They rededicate themselves, man. They go talk to some people, get their head right, get that shit recalibrated, and they come back to the ring and they look sharp. You know? I mean, you have to think about it. Manny Pacquiao lost via knockout, cold-blooded knockout. Like, I think his 12th or 13th professional fight. Nobody talk about this shit. He got knocked out flat. Same way he did against Manuel Marquez. Go look it up on his resume. Nobody talk about that. They just talk about who Manny Pacquiao became from fighting in those lower divisions up to now. Chris Colbert he's 28 years old, I believe. So he still has time. But I don't know if he's going to go into journeyman status right now. I don't know if we're going to see him back in the ring unless it's against very soft, mushy, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like Alfredo saucy, soft, mushy watermelon. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Warm jello gelatin opponents. I don't know. Salute the Tough Glove Boxing, man, with the $5 super chat. Much appreciated to you, man. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Y'all definitely go check it out. Not everybody has a website that they can create off their own with boxing content. Definitely check out Tough Glove, and hopefully you put the link in here, man. I don't know if you got it up and running to the point where you want traffic to start, but yeah, you can definitely drop the link so people can check it out if it's up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, impressive, bro. Impressive, real talk. You know what I'm saying? You never know how these brothers be, you know, how smart they be until they start showing you. You know what I'm saying? until these brothers be level changing on here. You know, shout out to the News by Shaw News Sauce Experience in the building. Team Tucker official on deck. Salute to you, man. Say Tough Glove Boxing, nice website. Yeah, man, for sure. What he did? He put the link up there or not? Okay. You must have just did it on one of your live streams. Okay. I mean, when I get it where I need to be. Okay. I got it. Cool. Shout out Miss International Toby Bartlett in the building. I see you, man. Salute WCS in the hottest chat in the YTC. We're global, baby. We're global. No doubt about it, Toby. It's always better to be global than just local, like I always say. D-Ray live on the drive in the building. Haynes Legacy in the building. What's good with it, Haynes? May all is well with your brother. Hope all is well. Hope God is blessing you for a speedy recovery, man. Speaking of speedy recovery, hey man, y'all keep you know what I'm saying, Haynes Legacy in your prayers. Keep B-Mac in your prayers. B-Mac, you know, had pneumonia and a collapsed lung. You know, the Mag Mob, you might know him over at the Mag Mob, but keep B-Mac in your prayers, man. The brother's going through some health issues right now. You know what I'm saying? So keep these brothers, you know, Haynes going through his situation also with operation. Just keep these brothers in your prayers, because you never know in this YTC, man. People be disappearing. You know what I'm saying? They be dropping off because at the end of the day, they are human. We all human now. We do go through health issues. So, you know, whoever your supreme being, just keep these brothers in your prayer, man, for speedy recovery, so they can get back on here and be amongst the company, you know. But Chris Colbert, man, I'm not gonna say I wish him nothing but the best in the world. I don't wish him anything. I don't wish bad on him. I don't wish him good, nothing. He'll find out when he find out. To me, it just seems like he's hard to be taught. I'm not in his camp, but I've seen so many situations where Colbert just acted like, if you expect to have a conversation, expect him to pontificate or speak to you in a dogmatic manner. Expect that from him. It's automatic from Colbert. He's gonna address you as if you are a subordinate, no matter what your age is. I don't mind anybody, especially, you know, when you're in the sport of boxing, combat sports, a sports period. You know, you can talk your shit. But the way he's been performing in the ring, dog, I just don't agree with why is he so egotistical like that? Arrogant, pompous individual. If people are trying to talk to you, you know, just trying to get your name out there and do an interview, like, nobody really fuck with you over there in Brooklyn. Like, where's your media? Where was all the footage heading into this fight? That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to take too much time on Chris, because, you know, he suffered another stoppage loss. He has to get it together in his head. We all go through shit. But that brother right there, I don't know why he is who he is. You can't blame it on Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? I know they have a different speed when it comes to personality than the South. I get it. But you should be able to understand if you have an adult in front of you. You should have a clear understanding how to dress it up and have some decorum with your dialogue. When you just a straight up bitch and an asshole all the time, just off simple convo, people gonna look at you and they're gonna frown up and you know, every time they see you cross. Like, you can be at a fight card and people see you walk. They're not gonna really take too much time and say, "Hey, Chris, can I holler at you for a second?" I won't. I mean, it's not that I'm fearful or whatever. In the military for that long a time, even in boot camp, I've experienced worst. But see, with Chris, we're voluntarily trying to cover you. And you're turning your back on people, like people that you don't know. You turn your back, you act like they're not talking to you. You're mean for a meaningless reason. It's pointless the way this dude act. He volunteers to be foolish, y'all. That's what Chris Colbert does. He volunteers to be foolish. And that in the sport, when you have, you're trying to get your name, how do you expect to become a grand name, like a big tier name in the sport, when you can't even be approached? Like nobody can approach this dude. That's all I got to say, man. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it is what it is. Let's get to some other collective topics. All right, as we spin this carousel of subjects, you know what I'm saying? As we go over to my favorite stopping point of freaking biasness, Boxing News 24. I don't know if you all have heard, but there has been word that the IBF orders Artur Beterbiev to defend against Michael Eifert. I'm pretty sure y'all know who Michael Eifert is. Yeah, let it sit there long enough. You'll know who Michael Eifert. Now, all you Bibble haters, I know you know who Michael Eifert. You know how the IBF get down. The IBF has a history now when it comes to undisputed unification. They have a history of just disrupting the play. Everything. It's just like you have a 3-fight parlay and you don't want 2, and the payout is goddamn $7,000. And here comes the IBF. That's how they be fucking shit up, y'all. The IBF is talking about they want to order Artur Beterbiev, Beterbiev to defend against Michael Eifert. Michael Eifert. I just wanted to put that out there, y'all. Let's get to my guy, Gervonta Davis, alias El Chin Checker. He went in on Artur Beterbiev. You know why. You know why. It says, and it's been written by Robbie at Boxing News 24, said Gervonta Davis criticized newly crowned undisputed light heavyweight champion Artur Beterbiev, saying he's not a Hall of Fame fighter and he's ass. This was in response to his coach, John Scully, who said that Gervonta would not be a Hall of Fame bound if he retired now. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to John Scully. One of the best interviews I gave. Like I said, I'm a grown fucking man. Just because he feels some type of way about a fighter that I support, I like John Scully, man. John Scully's no nonsense. I like the dude. I mean, one of the best interviews. A dude that's been in boxing, was a boxer himself. I mean, the talk of that guy, yeah. So like I said before, when you're a part of the community, you know what community? The boxers, the professional athletes, they talk about each other like that. It says the underlining message that Scully appeared to be getting at with this comment about the Baltimore native Tank Davis, 30-0, 28 knockouts, not getting to the Hall of Fame if he retired today, was that he's not ambitious. So they give Tank's a summary of Tank's career. They say use of catchweight, selective matchmaking, weak opposition, content to hold secondary titles, content to hold no unification fights. Now this where I disagree, and I appreciate the dynamic for which Gervonta Tank Davis team is piloting his career. And we all know when he was with Mayweather Promotion, I'm not talking about none of that. This is what I like about them and how they don't care about the belts. Yes, we can zoom in on what he did at 130. We can say, well, he picked up this title and this. Okay, cool. But one thing that's a blessing for Tank is that he's a superstar. He's not the tallest, but he's fighting in the lighter weight classes, and he packs a punch. And he can box his ass off. He's technically one of the most well-rounded fighters in the sport. He has been proven that he can fight aggressively, present pressure, off the back foot. He has lateral movement, and he has that knockout power. We've seen it. So what I'm trying to get at, they can talk about the catch weights, the matchmaking, the weak opposition, content to hold secondary titles, and no unification fights. They can talk about all that. But what has more elasticity to it? Money. You can make money stretch way further than undoing a belt and landing on your motherfucking dresser or your table. Money will stretch far and beyond infinity. Longer than the pliability of a world championship belt. Now, you're saying to yourself, well, WCS, that only proves like he's not in the Hall of Fame. Listen to me. It's other people that's in the Hall of Fame that did just as what Tank has done up to this point or less. And they're in the Hall of Fame. And we know why they're in the Hall of Fame. But you also have to understand, if you're going to say that boxing is a business, right? You have to understand the people that's making the money, that's more FICO points for them when they're being voted into the Hall of Fame. They look back at these fights. Not everybody in the Hall of Fame has a resume that you can just glorify. We just don't have the reproduction of fighters in life that are coming into the sport. We don't have those high schoolers, college athletes that are coming out and they say, you know what, I want to be a boxer. Like they're doing football and basketball, like they're doing track, like they're doing soccer, all these other freaking professional sports. It takes a different type of individual to be considered the top 5% in professional boxing. You can say you want to go to the gym, but when you start putting in the work and you start taking those punches and you find out the sacrifice that has to be made, sometimes the interest value reduces itself. Sometimes these boxers, they lose confidence and then go a different direction. They say, I don't think I can do this. All the running, all the freaking hard work, dedication, blood, sweat, and tears that goes into becoming a professional boxer, getting punched in the fucking head. Ouch, that hurts. My ribs hurt. My chest hurt. My arms hurt. My elbows. Not all of them want to go through that. But one thing about Team Davis is they're making money. You're trying to tell me if a fighter is making money, all of a sudden you're going to exclude the fact that boxing is a business? Isn't with the business you get the money? You're not getting the money to get the belts. The belts cannot be pawned in. The belts don't hold no residual value once you leave the sport. The belts are priceless. Not priceless in a good way though. Like you take a belt from a fighter and they're still living, that person is going to look at you like, look, I would suggest you hold on to this because you're not going to get anything over here. And I'm not going to be able to sell it for too much of anything. Why? Because each sanctioning body, they don't have no value that's going to hit the stock market or go to an auction. It's no special sanctioning body when they producing these special belts. Well, this is Canelo, the Cinco de Mayo and the Mayan belt that Mauricio Suleiman made. Sir, I don't care about all that history. The belt ain't worth shit. I'm telling you, give it to a family member or something that's willing to pay you about $30. Okay, don't give it to me, because the people that come in here, my consumers, they're not boxing fans like that. They're just regular civilians. And you might get 1 out of 20 that come in here and say, hey, whose championship belt is that? Oh, that was Tank Davis. You know who Tank Davis is? Yeah, I know, but I just wonder why his belt was in here. And, you know, he was making millions when he was fighting. You know what I'm saying? What is the conversation going to be like, y'all? Do you want to say, oh, well, I'm a whole Tank because he's a big name. I'm a whole Tank responsible for not fighting the fighters that I want him to fight, even though there's plenty of fighters. When you look around all the divisions, the hot divisions for 35 up to, I would say, I'm not going to say 168 because Canelo cleaned out and he fought everybody with a belt. He pretty much cleaned out the division, so I can't say 168. I can't say 175. I will have to say 154 to 135. I mean, look at 140. You had Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor fight for the undisputed. What has happened after he vacated? Nothing. You don't know what the fuck Tio's trying to do. Subriel Matias loses. Roller Romero was the weakest. He got gifted the motherfucking decision here and then finally got exposed off that Christmas present he got from Eastside Cruz. Then, of course, the debacle that happened with Devin Haney, and now you have Alberto Puello that's the champion. What about the welterweight division? We don't know what happened. We don't produce killers like that. Yeah, people have fun talking about Crawford and Spence, but what is going on at 147 right now? It's like an abandoned warehouse. Like you crack the door open and only light is shining from the outside in. The lights that's in the parking lot shining through the windows. The light's not even on at welterweight, man. We're like, huh? Where everybody at? We trying to get 54 back sparked, but fighters don't want to fight the fighters that's supposed to give you the spark and give you the goddamn chatter and buzz that you're looking for. It's all about in-house fights, so to speak. Where everybody at? 135-pound division. People are mad and acting like Roach is a bad guy. Roach isn't a bad guy. I met Lamont Roach. He ain't a bad guy. Y'all got to stop dogging these motherfuckers out just because you don't know them. I ain't gonna lie. I do have biases about fighters I met in real life and their personalities. I do. I met Lamont Roach in Baltimore. He ain't a bad guy. This nigga don't go up here disrespecting people or acting no type of way. Like he won the title, bro. But y'all mad at Lamont Roach because Tank is providing him a shot. He's providing the brother with a shot. Any other time, they'll say, hey, man, the brothers should give the other brothers a shot and allow them to know how to work together. Well, the Tank is giving the brother a shot, right? He's giving Lamont Roach from 130 a shot, and they act like no other fighter in life has moved up from a lower division up to a higher division to fight a fighter. See, Tank, he's becoming an enigma because the way Tank is moving from the trouble he was getting into to being out of sight, out of mind now and focusing on the big fights. Tank is maneuvering in such a way that he has people now trying to be in his business. Now he has people like, oh man, we want to see Tank. You have people that want to see him fight certain people. But those certain individuals wasn't freaking available. We talk about Shakur Stevenson. Hey man, I'm gonna tell you what I know in the conversation, real talk. They already knew that he had a freaking hurt hand. They didn't want to lock in no fight. Everybody talking about Tank duck Shakur. He didn't duck no motherfucking Shakur. He wanted to fight Shakur Stevenson, but Shakur hurt his fucking hand. They wasn't going to lock in no fight for the very same reason he did what he did. He was, look, y'all wasn't getting on Shakur Stevenson, were you? Like y'all getting on Tank, right? Let's back it up a little bit, just like Michael Jackson moonwalking for the first time now. When Shakur Stevens was about to fight that fighter from a lower weight division, were y'all getting on in his ears like you getting on Tank's ears? Think about that. My bad, y'all. Let me get to the chat right quick. Hey, once again, those of you that drop in the Cash App, hey, let me know, man, because I don't really pay attention to my phone when I'm on live. But shout out to Haynes Legacy, man, and the family for the $5 Cash App, man, supporting the channel. I appreciate you, brother. You know, thanks for your support all the time, man. One love to you and yours, man. Real talk. Thanks for always supporting the channel, man. Hey, shout out to Gumbo, man. AK Hot Grease. Hey, Gumbo say you wrong, bro. Hey, I know Gumbo ain't talking. Gumbo is feeling a sign of relief right now that Wilder's no longer, fighting or having a fight coming up. I had to endure that. You know what I'm saying? Good brother. You know what I'm saying? But he was absolutely a full-time Wilder insurgent. But shout out to Mr. Gumbo with the $10 super chat. Much appreciated to you. One love as always, man. Thanks. Once again, shout out to Haynes Legacy again for the $5 super chat, my brother. I appreciate you. One love to you, man. You and your fam. And many blessings to you for a speedy recovery. No doubt about it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Gumbo. He always supporting the channel too. You know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? People I communicate with outside of the live streams. Much appreciated, Gumbo. Shout out to Tough Glove Boxing who supported. You know what I'm saying? Early in the chat. Much appreciated. One love, brother. Thanks for your support. Also, Tyrese in the building. What's good? Salute to you, brother. I see you on deck. He said, little. Oh man, that's nice, man. He said, "Little B flop." Look, I'm not even gonna tell y'all when back in the day when he had his other name, like he went from Prime to B Hop, Lil B Hop. He went from Prime to Lil B Hop, and I was saying, no, he can't be talking about prime time Deion Sanders. He can't be talking about that. He can't be talking about anything prime. He ain't proved no. So he decided, I don't know, some was said down here or whatever, but no, you can't emulate prime. It's only one prime time. So he changed the Lil B Hop. And I said to myself, that's even worse because it takes more than, coming from Brooklyn. You got to show that you have that ring IQ of a B Hop. You gotta prove to the people that you have that ring IQ. You haven't shown that yet. And just the fact that Tyrese said Lil B flop, I never knew why he took on such big names, man. And you wasn't nowhere near that. You wasn't performing as such. So yeah, right now I gotta go off Tyrese. That's the first time I heard that Lil B flop. I gotta call him B flop, man, because he's been flopping. He's been flopping, bro. The 140-pound division was one of the most talked about divisions last year. Now it's a mess. Yes, man. Like I'm saying, what happened? Like we was already touch and go. It was a lot of sputtering, like it was sugar in the gas tank. You have them gas-fueled vehicles and you put sugar in there and it should just be sputtering, right? And 2024 was doing that for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't performing like a fuel injection. It's saying fight here, fight there, divisions, that used to have the lights on. Just think about the 135-pound division. When you had the Mikey Garcias, Lomachenkos, you know what I'm saying? When you had them talking about Tank, Devin, Ryan Garcia, You know what I'm saying? Teofimo Lopez. You had all these people being talked about that was at 135-pound division. And then, you had the unification with Tio and Lomachenko. But Lomachenko was a part of those big names too. That's when he was still a big deal. Still is to this day, but it was light zone in there. You know what I'm saying? The frequency was where you wanted it to be. But now we don't know what's going on. But like I was saying about freaking Team Davis was that they wanted the Shakur Stevenson fight. But Shakur had her hand. And people acting like they wanted Team Davis to lock in a fight with Shakur. And this is no shit, man. Exactly what played out is exactly what they didn't want. And I'm not speaking for the team. I'm just saying what I was able to communicate in conversation with certain individual that's in Baltimore. They didn't want all this time and effort to go in and this, that, and the other, that Shakur was going to be on the, all being promoted, Shakur Stevenson, Tank Davis, and then he has to have a hand operation. Now Tank is back to try to find the last minute. No. They did right. Now, if Lamont Roach is the next up, Shakur Stevens was about to fight a fighter from the 130-pound division too, just like Tank. So why is it difficult? I mean, why was it accepted for Shakur Stevens to fight somebody from a lower division and y'all blame Tank, but yet Tank is fighting Roach, a champion? Last time I checked, what's his name? Wasn't a champion, was he? I even forgot his name, man. He wasn't a champion, was he? Somebody put his name in there. Oh boy, that Shakur Stevens was supposed to fight for 130. What was his name? I forgot his name, man. I totally forgot his name. But he was fighting for 130. And then the fight falls apart because Shakur has to have hand surgery. And then Tank goes over here and gets a champion for 130. And people are really trying to treat Lamont Roach like he's a bum. Like, y'all need to stop that, bro. Lamont Roach is not a bum, man. Y'all like using him as expendable. Like he's damaged goods, man. Who are we talking about? We can't be talking about Lamont Roach, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. You can't be talking about Lamont Roach. Not the one I know. That brother ain't did nothing to nobody. And y'all up here treating him like, oh, all because Tank want to fight this guy. He ain't nothing. Like, what's wrong with y'all? Lamont Roach is 25-1-1 with 10 knockouts, 29 years of age. He's currently a world champion. And he's scheduled to fight Gervonta Davis December 14, 2024. He's a world champion, bro. He lost to Jamel Herring back in November 2019 now. Shout out to my Simplify comrade, Jamel Simplify Herring. Hoorah. He lost to Jamel Herring back in 2019. That's almost cinco. That's like 5 years almost. This dude has one loss, man. One loss. And he was going in there to contend for the WBO World Super Featherweight title. One loss. So now he's a champion. And he's going up to fight Tank Davis, who's doing the exact same thing. Y'all don't give him no credit for Hector Luis Garcia. You know what I'm saying? I guess Hector Luis Garcia don't get no credit because Tank already stopped him. You know, it's crazy, man. That's the one thing about boxing. It is the wild, wild west, man. Y'all don't want to give a man no credit because he has a common opponent in Tank. Because he didn't look, because he won a split decision and he didn't stop Hector Garcia. Man, y'all can't do that to Roach. Y'all can't do that. And then, you know, he knocked McCrory down once in round 3 and twice in round 4 to get the TKO stoppage. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is. Why people dislike Lamont Roach. I don't know. He's not a bad guy at all. You know what I'm saying? He only has one loss. You can't sit up here and treat that guy like he's Chris Colbert. Please don't do that. You can't treat that guy like he's Chris Colbert, man. You know what I'm saying? Lamont Roach is a WBA champion, world champion at 130 pounds. He's a WBA world champion, man. Give that man respect. Now, look, I can see if y'all had Lamont Roach tagged like Hobson Conceição did with O'Shaquie Foster. I can see if Lamont Roach had a situation where the decision was controversial and the other guy should have won, but yet Roach did, and now he's about to go on and fight for a huge payday. That's not the case with Roach, man. That's not the case. Y'all act like these fighters are here fighting the fighters that you want them to fight. Let me break this scenario down to you, right? So Canelo was able to take that spaceship up. You know, first he was on the ladder, and then he started to paraglide a little bit, and then they gave him jetpacks, and then he was able to go on a miniature space odyssey to get where he was at, right? Now, while he's up there, this man has been a part of 11 fight, $365 million deal, which he didn't complete, right? So within Canelo's career, he hasn't always fought, nor has he always knocked out fighters that people deem him the knockout master, right? So he's fought here and there. He fought Avni Yildirim coming off a loss. Yes, I repeat, Canelo Alvarez fought Avni Yildirim coming off a loss based off a promissory note and an agreement, an honorary IOU to say, hey, I give you the payday. Don't worry about it. And Avni Yildirim, just like good old freaking Gennady Golovkin, is considered to be in the good graces of Canelo, and Canelo honored it. Fought Avni Yildirim coming off a loss. Gave him a payday. Fought Gennady Golovkin after 7 pro fights after the rematch. So you tell me that even with the Balanga, the Charlo, and the Munguia, yes, Munguia is a 2-division champion, but no one was really thinking Munguia was going to go in there and get the job done versus Canelo. They didn't think Munguia was on the same level as Canelo. They just knew he was a 2-weight world champion. That's it. So with that said, why are y'all so heavy on Tank Davis? You acting like there's a site, a reproduction of fighters going on. Killers with the Neuralink. You acting like they have an entire ranking system of Neuralinked fighters that they're supposed to release, and they're going to become a part of the WBC, WBA, and the IBF and the WBO sanctioning body structure, and they're going to go in there and integrate them with the humans, and we're going to see how the humans do against these freaking reproduced clone fighters. Hey, people, that's not the way it works. I'm just being honest. That's not the way it works on a Thursday, a Friday, a Saturday, and definitely not Sunday. That's not the way it works right now, man. Y'all have to understand that. Take a look. When you have some free time, right? Take a look at these sanctioning bodies. Take a look how dense they become after you get at the number 5 ranking in any sanctioning body. From number 6 all the way to 10. Just take a look. It's not as deep as you think. It's about as deep as a baby pool, man. You all, the problem with some of you cats, right? When it comes to basically zooming in with criticism on certain fighters, the problem with you all is that you want to try to convince somebody that you're diving off the high board into a kiddie pool, which is not even a foot deep, and you're not breaking your freaking back. You want to convince people that these ranking systems from 1 to 10 is deep. We're not even talking about 11 to 15. We're talking about 1 to 10. They want to act like it is a ranking system full of deadly, lethal assassins. That's not the way it is in the ranking system in boxing. So you always going to have criticism when it comes to these fighters not fighting the name that you want them to fight. Now, when you ask somebody about who do they want Tank to fight, right? This is what they're going to tell you. They are somewhat leaving out Shakur Stevenson because he's nursing his hand back to health. You know, shout out to Shakur Stevenson to a speedy recovery, right? You know, it happens in boxing. You know, injuries happen, right? You know, Brian Norman Jr. is out with a hand injury. Speedy recovery to him, man. All right. You're in a combat sport, tough, right? So peep this out. So when you ask people about Gervonta Davis, who do you want him to fight? They'll say something like Lomachenko, right? And I say to myself, how many fights does Lomachenko get before people say he's no good? They're trying their best to give Lomachenko the Pacquiao tag. They're trying to give Lomachenko the ultimate 8 division pacemaker of Manny Pacquiao, the legend. Seriously, that's what they're trying to do with Lomachenko. Look, it's only so far those gold headlights will take Lomachenko. No one, look, they'll sit up here and say, hey, well, I thought Lomachenko won against Devin Haney. But they'll sit up here and say, hey, man, W says you even said that you thought Lomachenko won against Devin Haney. I did. But Gervonta Davis is a different fighter than Lomachenko and Devin Haney, in my opinion. If he was to step in there, in my opinion, he beats both of them. Okay? That's just my thoughts. Now, for Lomachenko, he's been sat down by Jorge Linares. People want to ignore that like they tried to do his Orlando Salido loss. They want to act like it never freaking happened. No, WCS, I don't like it. See, this why I tell my friends, I say WCS, he say something I don't like, I'm unsubscribing quick. I don't like it. I don't like it. I know freedom of speech, but I don't like it sometimes. I'm saying, like, am I right or wrong? Am I right or wrong, though? Like, opinions, man, it's up to you. It's all about how you receive it. Am I right or wrong on that, though? Gervonta Davis, my opinion that he beats Lomachenko and Devin Haney. And people will tell you, why don't he fight Devin Haney? Devin Haney does not have a belt at 140 no more. Lomachenko. Then Lomachenko turned down the fight. I understand there's casual fans lurking amongst us, but I don't like calling individuals who I'm conversing with casuals because they deem it offensive. Without it, casual boxing fan is basically saying you lack the depth of knowledge that someone who consider themselves or frequent boxing a much more higher level than a casual boxing fan. But when you call somebody a casual, automatically they emote on demand. They get furious. They say you disrespect me. I ain't no casual and shit like that. But they would know, the real ones would know that Lomachenko turned down the fight. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. They act like Tank can just go over here and make fights and that's done deal. I know for a fact certain offers that was given to certain fighters and they turned it down. But to the exterior of it, right? A lot of people can't break past their own beliefs. Like they'll hear something in a discussion and somebody will say, hey, Lomachenko turned down the fight. Stop lying. You know who Lomachenko is? You seen this amateur? He have 800 amateur fights. He has 40 gold medals, man. Olympics. Why would he turn down Tank? He beats Tank on his worst day and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's what they say, bro. They still riding off Lomachenko's amateur pedigree, his 2 gold medals, and what he did thus far in his career. But when you say that, hey, he turned down the fight, once again, you have these private conversations. You know, you have receipts. Let me see the receipts. Well, didn't I just say they was private? It was private conversation. I don't have no skin in the game. I don't have no energy to come over here and cap about certain things. But I said it on live about Shakur Stevenson. I say they don't want to lock in that shit because he's injured. But he's taking a fight with so-and-so, and look what happened. That proved my point, bro. Look what happened. He pulled out of the fight. That's exactly what Team Davis didn't want to happen. Them locking in with Stevenson, and he pulls out the fight for an injury, and now they stuck. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Come on. Stop it, y'all. We got to be better, bro. We got to be better. We can't be right at everything, even me. Shout out to Blue Hustle in the building. What's good with it, Blue? Sad that man ain't did shit besides fight the tough fights and not protect the O, and people still hate. Yeah, man. You talking about Lamont Roach? I don't know. You talking about? Look, Tank is always going to get the hate because he's out here and people want to see him. Somebody might say that Tank is in a position where Floyd was, where people was paying to see Floyd lose. We want to see him lose. Look, they hated Floyd so much, you know, that he used to hype up that O, right? To the point where when Conor McGregor, when they allowed Conor McGregor to manipulate their boxing knowledge, you know what I'm saying? They allowed Conor McGregor to infiltrate their security boundaries when it comes to separating boxing from mixed martial arts. They allowed Conor McGregor to finesse him. They allowed Conor McGregor, who was a 2-division champ at the UFC, the first to do it. They allowed him to sweet talk the shit out of him with that Irish accent. You ain't gonna do nothing. I'll beat the Mayweathers. I'll beat him down. He was talking, and people were just all enamored. Oh, he sounds so cool. I wish I had an accent. I wish I had an Irish accent like Conor. It sounds so cool. I bet he picks up so many women in the club with that accent. But man, he's gonna beat Floyd ass, man. He's gonna beat Floyd up. They was really believing that Conor McGregor was gonna come in here and outbox Floyd Mayweather based off his sparring session with Paulie Malignaggi, y'all. Serious. They felt that if Conor, the rumor that was going around that he dropped Paulie Malignaggi, and people know Paulie Malignaggi for having limited power, right? So they didn't know that Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor was behind the scenes talking it up and talking about, yeah, you do this. You know how Floyd is. Floyd all about the money. He said, man, keep on doing what you're doing. Yeah, man, they really soaking this all in, man. They eating it up, yo. Their bellies are full off this bullshit. Keep on doing what you're doing. Disrespect me anytime you want, man. Talk about the family. We don't care. We're gonna take it to the bank, man. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And that's exactly what they did. It's been no other fighter on Floyd Mayweather's resume. No fighter that disrespected Floyd Mayweather more than Conor McGregor, who's a mixed martial artist with an 0-0 boxing record. It's been no other fighter, y'all, in Floyd's entire resume that did what Conor McGregor was able to do to him. And they made millions off that shit. So I find Gervonta Davis is pretty much doing, you know, sitting back and watching how Floyd went through it. Floyd had belts and they still disliked the man. So if Gervonta is going out here making millions on pay-per-view and he's still in his 20s, late 20s, why are people talking about the Hall of Fame right now and it don't matter to somebody who's making millions? In one breath, people up here bragging about how Rolly Romero was catapulted off a Tank loss. Ryan Garcia off a Tank loss. Isak Cruz? God damn. Do you see the post fight? Jim Gray and Tank, do you believe that Isaac Cruz is a star? He said, yeah, he did. A star was, and then Jim Gray say, a star was born tonight. Yeah, see, a star was born. I mean, people was, look, they don't know how much stock was elevated off Isak Cruz going the distance with Tank. That basically propelled him to a whole nother level, yo, based off Tank's fight. A whole nother level. But I just want to put that out there. I don't want to spend too much time, but Gervonta wanted to, send his shots at Artur Beterbiev. You know what I'm saying? He said, this is Tank, in quote. That big ass goofy that he trained is not a Hall of Fame fighter. And he's ass, said Gervonta Davis on X, taking a verbal shot at undisputed light heavyweight champion Artur Beterbiev in response to his coach John Scully saying that Gervonta is not a Hall of Fame fighter if he hung up his gloves at this point in his career. So really, I stand corrected, really Tank was going at Scully and not Beterbiev. But how they phrase it in the title is more so that Gervonta Davis trashes Artur Beterbiev. You know what I'm saying? Which he partially do, but his primary projectile and how he tried to, hit the target was at John Scully. And John Scully is known to talk his shit. Now, I also want to talk about this. Sean Porter had Bivol winning 8-4 over Beterbiev. Sean Porter now. I've been saying that, but Bivol won the fight. A lot of other people have been saying it, but you have these individuals that's so enamored for whatever reason their admiration is for Beterbiev, they can see Bivol did nothing. Hey man, Beterbiev walked him down, man. He was a soldier to the opening bell to the final tick. Oh my God, he was full of destruction. The Terminator had nothing. No, man, come on, bro. What's going on with y'all? Shout out to Content Entertainment in the building. Salute WCS. Salute everyone in the chat. Smash that. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more on deck. The OG in the building. What's good with it, Bruce? Shout out to Christopher White in the building. Reggie Bush, number 24. Salute WCS about Tank. If Stevenson is not available, what about Kid Austin or Los Santos kid? Austin rank number 2 in his division. Now, solid point. People have been mentioning Floyd Schofield, and they've been mentioning Edward De Los Santos. Okay, let's start with Kid Austin. Kid Austin, man, shout out to him and his pops. You know what I'm saying? His training videos. I like his training videos because I don't say no pause and no Diddy. I don't come from that shit. Niggas act like they can't say a full sentence without saying no Diddy or pause and all that shit. But the reason why I like Floyd Schofield's training vids because they give you different areas on where you can train certain exercise. Like he has a freaking strength and conditioning coach. So it provides you with a different variety of certain exercises that you won't normally see just going to the gym and working out. You know what I'm saying? And also I like his training vids because it provides Floyd Schofield more exposure. It does. It provides him more exposure for the fight fans. They get to see him in there training, shredded, ripped, going in there doing his strength and conditioning and shit. That's what people want to see, man. But a lot of fighters, you don't get to see none of that shit. Salute the team Schofield. I know it's a little bit off topic, but Schofield is a good fighter waiting for his opportunity. I've heard the exchanges with his pops. with everybody saying that his son is ready. His son is gonna get the shot. I don't know with who, but Schofield's gonna get the shot. It's destined to happen. I don't know when or with who, but Floyd Schofield is talented enough. He has the skills, and he should get the shot. I just don't know when he's gonna get the shot. He's still a youngin', man. He's gonna get the shot, just like Abdullah Mason is gonna get the shot, just like Keyshawn Davis is gonna get the shot. You got a lot of young cats, man, at 135, but yet just the fights haven't been connected on paper yet. The ink haven't dried. Edwin De Los Santos, man. I mean, yes, he put a stop to the El Rayo train. Even though he was knocked down in that fight, he went on to stop. That's what people remember him mostly. People want to say, hey, man, they remember him off on freaking Shakur. No, it was off Jose Valenzuela. Okay. Now, outside of that, he did get a smidget more boxing FICO points when he went in there and Shakur Stevenson was reacting to his every feint. You know, people, all they remember was him knocking out El Rayo and then possessing that power, and they wanted to see how Shakur Stevenson handled it. Well, Shakur then put on a more dominant performance than people expected. So that's why he was on here crashing out on social media, because people was really going in on him and saying that, you know, he was frightful about engaging with De Los Santos. He barely, you know, every time he bit on damn near every feint they were saying and all that shit, right? Now, the tied in with Tank, only thing I can say with Team Davis, because I don't speak for them, is, man, they're gonna fight who they want to fight. Now, Christopher, you're not wrong in Floyd Schofield or De Los Santos. You're not wrong. They're quality opposition at 135, but their name isn't out there yet. But then I know where you're gonna go with it. You're gonna say, well, it's not like Lamont Roach is a big superstar, right? But yet you have to look at common opponents that he fought. Hector Luis Garcia. He fought Hector Luis Garcia. Didn't he? I mean, that was a common opponent of Tank, wasn't it? I mean, we know common opponents happen to be somewhat of I don't know, somewhat like a formula some people use. Common opponents of fighters. Hey, so and so fought this, they did this, and this, just like they used the David Abanesian formula. He had already been stopped in the 6th round by Edis Kavalauskas. So they were saying, hey, Crawford better stop him in 6 rounds or less, or else he ain't shit. They're going to get their shot. I just don't know if it's going to be with Tank anytime soon. I don't know, big dog. I couldn't tell you, to be honest with you, Christopher. I don't know. But you're right. They are worthy opponents. They are talented, but their name is not on the level. But then again, you know, when you put the ingredients in there, you start nitpicking and shit like that, people are going to say, well, what about Rolly? Rolly's Mayweather Promotions at one point in time. Rolly does have a pretty solid, loyal fan base. He does. You know, Isaac Cruz, this is what I'm talking about. I believe Schofield is going to get his shot at somebody, at some champion, like Isaac Cruz did. I think he is, real talk. I think he's going to get his shot, man. Because his dad has been out there promoting his son. They've been basically all around the world, you know what I'm saying, talking, bigging up his son, putting training videos out there of Schofield. I think he's a good kid. You know what I'm saying? His dad won all the smoke. His dad won all the smoke, man. Whoever want to talk that shit about his kid, just like any father's son, his dad won all the smoke. Edwin De Los Santos, he has bragging rights depending on who you talk to, but at the end of the day, I mean, people still waiting on him to, I don't know. They just waiting on him to have a decent name that's on his win column. I can only assume, bro. That's all I can say on that. I can only assume. But let me get back to Sean Porter right quick. Sean Porter had Bivol winning 8-4 over Beterbiev. It says Sean Porter. This is Boxing News 24. All right, let me share the screen with this because I don't want anybody believing that I made this up, because this has been a very active topic lately, in these social media airwaves. So I just want to dabble in the current a little bit. Sean Porter felt that Dmitry Bivol dominated Beterbiev, winning. Let me see if y'all can see this. Yeah, you can see it. I'm right here. Winning a wide 8-4 score in their light heavyweight undisputed championship fight last Saturday night in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Porter said that Bivol's movement took away Beterbiev's offense, not allowing him to land his punches. I agree there, Sean Porter. I agree. Porter felt that the shoe shine shots that Bivol was landing was enough for him to get majority of those rounds in the fight. Going into the fight, Porter had predicted that Bivol would be victorious. The judges scored 114-114, 115-113, and 116-112. Let me just highlight that again. 116-112 is atrociously freaking biased and corrupt. Okay, let's be honest. But once again, no one's going to be penalized for it, nor would they be reprimanded for this shit. The article goes on to say Porter didn't factor in that Beterbiev would hurt Bivol, forcing him to run and put him in survival mode during the entire second half of the fight. He had questioned his age and his recent knee surgery going into the fight. Well, guess what? You're wrong. He didn't. Bivol wasn't in survival mode for the remaining second half of the fight. You all are jumping up and down, clapping your heels and hands together, slapping yourself, all because of the 11th and 12th round. That's it. That just goes to show you how y'all were straining throughout the entire fight for Beterbiev to take over the momentum, and he didn't until Bivol gave it to him. Bivol gave him the momentum in 11-12. When Bivol was surging and he was in control, man, I don't care what anybody say. They up here somebody, hey man, he dominated and he was walking them down, and Bivol couldn't do anything right there. But Beterbiev was landing shots through the guard, around the guard. Yeah, some shots landed through the guard. It's boxing, but not at the frequency that people was assuming in these boxing debates. And it's tough to have a boxing debate with certain people when they want to be right, and then it gets personal for no damn reason. It goes on to say he figured the surgery. Okay, I read that. I'm gonna go with Sean Porter said. I thought Bivol fought a great fight, but you can't win a fight of this caliber fighting moments in fights. He fought in spurts. He fought not to get knocked out. He fought to survive, said Lionel. Oh, that's Lionel Thompson. Shout out to Lonnie, to the Porter Way podcast about Dmitry Bivol fighting in survival mode and his loss to Artur Beterbiev last Sunday. Shout out to Lonnie, bro. Good dude. You know what I'm saying? I had the opportunity to talk boxing with Lionel, man. Shout out to him. Shout out to Sean Porter. They seen it. They knew what they was looking at. He tried in moments, but when Artur hit him, you could tell. Sometimes in close fights like this, boxing is about perception. It's about what looks better. You saw when Artur wouldn't hit Bivol. You saw when Artur would hit Bivol. Sometimes he would go on the run for a minute before he threw a punch. Artur was throwing and missing, but it looked like he wanted it more. And obviously the punches was doing damage because he's on the bike and he's holding. He's only fighting in spurts. Bivol, I think, if he had fought more, he have got stopped. He have got stopped if he had fought more. I think the judges seen that too. Bivol, I think, if he had fought more, he would have got the stoppage. I think that's what he's trying to say, whoever this guy is. It goes on to say, I think he was fighting in spots and trying to steal the last few seconds of the round. You saw a lot of his punches were hitting his gloves, but a lot of Bivol's shots were hitting Artur's gloves too. It looked flashy, but that's why Artur was able to come right back. I think the judges gave it to Artur because in those exchanges, when Bivol's shots hit Artur gloves, he's like, okay, but when Artur's shots hit gloves, you know that he was on the bike, like, oh no. So when you really sit down, I had Artur winning. It was close fight, but I think the right man won. I do want to see a rematch. I had it 115-113 for Artur. I had Artur winning the last 3 rounds in 1 round. I thought Bivol was about to cough it up. I thought it was the 10th or 11th. I thought he was about to cough it up, said Lonnie. So Lonnie was pretty much thinking Artur Beterbiev won the fight, when Sean Porter believes that Dmitry Bivol won. I think that's why the judges gave it to Artur, because there were moments in the fight where Bivol was breaking mentally. And you could tell he was fighting mentally like, no, I can't quit. I can't. He get on the bike and proceed to survive, said Thompson. What? He felt he looked like he was gonna quit. If you go to round 5, they was up here saying, come on, Beterbiev, you gotta pressure him. Just pressure him, because everybody in the arena think you're doing damage, you know, every time that you're there. So his trainer got it. His trainer was like, regardless if your punches are freaking breaking them down or not, just continue the pressure, because everybody in the arena believes every time you throw a punch, they're oohing and on. Go back to the tape. It said, I felt anytime he had a moment, Bivol would take the moment away from him, says Sean Porter. I felt like majority of the moments Beterbiev had, Bivol was able to take it away from him and control it and not allow him to capitalize on those moments. I had Bivol winning the fight 8-4. So that was from Sean Porter and Lonnie B. You know, it's 2 professional fighters, 2 stars. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We'll see how that works out. I'm pretty sure everyone heard that El Rayo has fired Benavidez Sr. whatever. Hey, man. It happens with trainers all the time. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? It happens all the time. Now they talking about Canelo Alvarez may fight Artur Beterbiev. I really don't care. If Canelo want to go up there and challenge himself against Beterbiev, I'm no way, shape, or form cutting that short. If that's what Canelo moved up and fought Kovalev, he moved up there and tried Bivol. Beterbiev beat Bivol. This is just another layer that if Canelo chooses or selects to fight Beterbiev, if he selects based off what he's seen, they have confidence for him to go in there. I can't wait to see the fight. For real, I can't wait to see the fight. Now, unfortunately, you know, another odd man out. You know, this is just talk on here. Some of this shit is all freaking just marbles at the end of the day, just rolling around and shit, making noise. But David Benavidez, he's trying to get his opportunity to fight Beterbiev. You know what I'm saying? But in the aftermath, I did want to speak on this. There's people up here griping about potentially Terrence Crawford fighting Conor McGregor. And this is all I have to say on this. I'm not going to be long-winded about it. There have been other fighters, just like Tyson Fury, who just fought Francis Ngannou, and I didn't hear the criticism. I heard very small chirps, right? And that man had 20 million. He got 20 million. Francis Ngannou received 20 million for fighting a legitimate WBC heavyweight world champion with 0 wins, 0 losses. You hear me? That man came over there as a professional licensed boxer, former UFC heavyweight champion. And he stepped in there just like Conor McGregor did with Floyd Mayweather. So I don't want to hear any of this nonsense about Crawford fighting freaking Conor McGregor if it happened. If they're going to get the bag and it's going to be someone that supported, Conor McGregor still sells, man. Conor McGregor has his own bravado. I mean, when you want to talk about a individual that sells anything when it comes to combat sports, that's Conor McGregor. I mean, he was just seen on video pulling a girl's hair that's a champion at BKFC to dance with him when his wife was standing right there to the left of him. If he don't already have enough problems, bro, he's like the co-owner. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen, bro. But back to the topic. If Terrence Crawford wants to fight Conor and Conor's down and he's going to get the biggest bag of his career, do it. Do it, man. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. It's been others who did it and got the bag. Why not? Hey, I remember when James Toney went over to the UFC. Cojones. James Toney went in the cage. He didn't say come over to the boxing ring. He went over to the cage and fought Couture. Randy Couture, yo. It's been there. What about Aoki and Ali? They allowed Aoki to kick freaking Ali. And he had metal inlets in his boots that end up giving Ali blood clots in the back of his leg. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, this has been around. What about Lau Alzado? You remember Lau Alzado, the football player, the jock who stepped through the ropes? Didn't he fight a professional boxing match? Stop hating. Stop hating. It's been plenty of these fights. Heather Hardy used to transfer over from boxing to MMA. I remember doing a live stream on when Heather Hardy took a shin to the face, man, and she was busted up, and she kept on fighting. And now she's saying she's having problems seeing. Man, Heather Hardy was a tough mofo, man. I seen her get busted up in MMA. You know what I'm saying? And she's seeing the residual damage from that shit. Even Amanda Serrano, I don't like to see her in MMA, but she did it. She did it. Real talk. She did it. Her and Heather Hardy, they did it. Holly Holmes, multi-time boxing world champion, winning kickboxing, went over there and dethroned Ronda Rousey to become the bantamweight world champion. Now she's going into the Hall of Fame, UFC Hall of Fame. I mean, crazy, man, Holly Holmes. When she retires, and she's going to be a Hall of Famer, man. Seriously. I just thought I'd put that out there for you. But, you know, we have the fights that I talked about earlier, of course. And we have some fights that's going on at the end of the year, man. Y'all be patient. Y'all be patient, man. Shout out to Team Davis, El Chin Checker. Shout out Team Lamont Roach. It ain't shit wrong with Lamont Roach fighting Gervonta Davis. And Shakur Stevens were about to do the same thing. And there's been other fighters who accepted fighters from lower weight divisions. We just had Canelo do it. And ain't nobody talking about that at all. We had Mikey Garcia do it. Nobody's talking about that. Are they? Are they talking about Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach? Or they want to talk about Isaac Cruz moving up to fight Rolly Romero? One Rolly at 140 already, and Isaac Cruz at 35. What was wrong with that? Was there something wrong with that? I'm just curious. Help me figure it out. Was there something wrong with that though? Real though. For real though. Okay. I got it. Man. But shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game, man. Salute to y'all. Appreciate everyone for pulling up. Continue to support the channel. Thanks again to those who donated and showed their support monetarily. One love to y'all. And shout out to the ones who pulled up with your attendance and listen to the live. One love to y'all. Appreciate you. Until next time, I'm out.